All righty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody had a lovely day. And with that being said, let's dive in some TA. Guys, we had another explosive day today with absolutely no pullback. That is how we are looking, all right? What is this white line right here? That is the 0.618 fib extension right there. We are going to take that one off. All right, SPY has just about hit that, so we're also going to take that off over here, guys. I am just going to say VIX has, we're just going to jump right over here to VIX's chart. VIX is coming down to a key spot. Daily RSI is coming down to a spot where we have, seen it bounce before. I am not saying it is just going to be immediately bouncing back, but I am going to say we have had a straight vertical move here following this election, and it would not surprise at all to see this thing start pulling back. On the 15-minute time frame, we do have these bearish divergences going on here. We did burn through what we had before over here, but we are just continuing to put in these divergences. Guys, these things typically don't last. This is now the 15-minute RSI being oversold for a straight 2 days in a row, or not oversold, overbought. Do we ever see that? No, not really. We don't usually see that. This is, something like that. And then what happened? You did end up getting that pullback. The pullback didn't amount to much, right? So I'm not saying we have to fall off a cliff here, but I would very much so like to see a pullback. I think, it is going to act as a little buying opportunity, but I am also going to say, all right, guys, once this thing gets into overbought territory, this daily RSI right here, I say it is time to, just take a little chill pill. I do think things are suggesting we go a little bit higher over here. So, over the coming trading sessions, maybe not Friday, maybe we pull back tomorrow, maybe we continue on next week. All right. So I'm not saying, right away. I do think we are going to go a little bit higher over here unless we close out, with an upper wick tomorrow and we really sell this thing tomorrow. Like, I don't think there's any reason to look for immediate downside. I think we're probably going to be going higher next week. All right. So we did get our FOMC rate hike decision or not rate hike, rate cut decision. And that was a 25 basis point cut, guys. I did hear Powell say, hey, all right, inflation is coming down to the target, but core inflation is not. All right. Well, it's not. He didn't say it exactly like that. But, he said there's still kind of a problem over there. It's not looking, all dandy and sweet. It's not all sunshine and rainbows over there. All right. So that is something. But, the market really did not react to the, initial, rate hike or rate cut announcement. I got to stop saying rate hike because, guys, we just went through something where we just kept hiking rates and then we were flat. And now we're actually in a cutting cycle. All right. I do think the market is going to continue higher. We had the, it was right over here. It was right at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. Powell started talking at 2:30. Okay. That is right over here. What happened? We had an immediate sell over there, followed by the dip being bought. And, like I was just pointing out here, guys, we're just carving out these divergences at this point, and it's reason to stay cautious. All right. Play your individual tickers, play your Bitcoin stocks. But, I'm going to say, over here on the indices, you're kind of just chasing this thing into the sky over here. We have definitely had a massive breakout over here. And that is that. Congrats if you have made money off of this. Let's go over how we're going to be watching this on the pullback. All right, guys. So support is going to be 512.99. Underneath there, all right, you got this little range you built out. All right, so I assume you're probably going to be if you get under here, you're probably going to test the bottom of the range. If you cannot hold the bottom of the range at 511.87, you really don't have anything until you start coming all the way back down here. You're going to have this gap support sitting right there. I could point out something right there. We're not going to watch that. It's too close to the other one. We're not really seeing much over here to go off of. You have absolutely nothing. So, like, it can become a slippery slope. I'm not saying it does. We can literally just get, a slight pullback over there. I did point to, how over here, right over here, all right, you finally, for 2 straight days, you had this thing remain in pretty much overbought territory. When you got your pullback, it was only a $6 pullback, and then you bounced back and you developed this range. And then you also came back down to the bottom of the range, and then eventually you just went higher. I do think we are going a little bit higher here. But, I definitely am going to say be careful just kind of straight up chasing this thing because we don't typically see the 15-minute RSI just stay in overbought territory for this long. It's looking kind of crazy. All right. Now, I understand the market's hyped about the new president, but let's be completely real. Do you want to be chasing this thing when it's doing things like this? No, we're probably going to get a pulling back, and then you get another pump over there, and then maybe that pump puts in a divergence, and then we, actually start and a pullback. All right. So, in the short term here, like I'll just point out, NQ has the same exact look over here. We could point out SPY has the same exact look. IWM over here. All right. You're kind of doing exactly what I was saying. All right. Where this thing's just going to pull back and price is going to trade a little flat. So we're open to the scenario of not an actual pullback, but just consolidation. We're going to have to see. We're going to have to see how this plays out. But, I do think, there's not really anything to be too bearish about right now. If it pulls back, I think it's probably going to be bought up. All right, let's be completely real about what we talked about the other day, guys. This daily RSI has not hit overbought territory yet. It's probably going to at least hit overbought territory once before coming down. All right, we're either going to have a scenario like this where, it's a really big pop into there and then followed by the drop. All right. Or we're going to get one of these things where every single little dip or consolidation is going to be bought up to a new high. I think that's the mode we're into. And, we're going to see a lot of top callers out there, guys. We're going to see a lot of top callers. I'm going to tell you how this typically goes. Guys, a blow off top over here, people will call it. All right. You'll try calling it, and then it just keeps going up. And then, eventually when everyone's in so much pain that's been calling for it, then it comes down and pulls back. All right. So just know, if you hear that, okay, if you hear all these top callers coming out the woods, guess what? They're probably not going to be right for a little while. Just saying. We just had a fresh breakout. We knew this chart was, this chart was very bullish over here. We knew this dip was likely to be a buying opportunity. We didn't know how deep the pullback was really going to come. I thought, let's look at it this way. We started coming all the way back down here where we found buyers back over there. So I was like, okay, maybe we're going to actually be revisiting the, golden pocket down there, the retracement. What happened, guys? You got bought up right there at your ugly double bottom neckline. Right there, you have a low. Right there, you have a low. Here's your neckline. This zone right here is exactly where buyers defended. We knew to be paying attention to that zone. And if that zone was lost, all right, this area was lost, we knew we were going to be watching right around 470. It was right over here. That is, that was going to be where we were going to be looking for buyers to at least give us that dead cat bounce, because, in reality, you're not going to just come straight down and take out that low. You were going to put in something like this. All right. No matter what, we knew we were going to be playing a bounce here. What happened, guys? It exploded into a new all-time high. SPY's looking crazy. QQ's looking crazy. It's looking freaking berserker. All right. But, this is the weekly time frame over here. And as you see, every single one of these pushes, we've gotten this RSI in overbought territory. Okay. Every single one of these, major legs up, we've gotten this thing in overbought territory. I don't think the top is in yet. I'm going to be transparent on that. I do not think it's in yet. I think it's reason to be cautious tomorrow. Just because of what I just showed you over here, 15-minute RSI is definitely just pumping out these divergences at this point. At some point, they're going to play out. All right, we're going to see this little pullback, and I don't think it can be, anything crazy. If it comes all the way back down here to, previous all-time high at 503, what was it, 503.52, that's a major buying opportunity, all right? I don't think that's going to happen right away, okay? But, when this hourly RSI gets overbought, we typically start going into this consolidation or pullback mode, and that's that. All right. Where are we right now? Where we are right now, this is where you ended up seeing this little drop over here. Okay. Well, what happened over here? You saw that the next day. Okay. That's a minus 1%. You're going to see top callers up the wazoo come out of nowhere. You're going to have, people buying puts because they think the top is in. And then, they're going to get a little drop. They're going to think they're a little right. And then boom, it goes higher. I'm not saying it's just going to immediately go higher, but I do think we're probably going to get that scenario here. So we're going to talk about it. All right. Like on all these occasions, when we saw this hourly RSI get into overbought territory, we started seeing it go down. All right. You could see, even if price was going up over here, all right, this thing cooled off. We're going to either get some consolidation here, some sideways action, or we're going to get a pullback with all likelihood. That's what I'm looking for. We're leaving gaps right here. We got a 1. We got a 2 now. Let's see if we can, pull back and fill it. I don't know if we're going to do so, but we're going to be watching it. Okay. So let's go over support over here on QQ, because resistance, guys, we're just watching the next psychological level, which could be 515, and then 520. You already, hit the extension that I was paying attention to over here. Underneath 512.99, you're watching 511.87. Underneath there, you really don't have anything. All right. Like, you really don't have anything. Like, you have this low over here. That is about it. All right. So under 511.87, you're watching 510.35, 508.34, 506.41, and 503.52. We're not going to talk about these because I don't think we're even coming back to revisit. That's a lot. All right, that is a ways away. We have to fall a whole 2% just to get back down to the previous all-time high. That's enough. I don't think we're going to have more than 2% down day tomorrow. And then after tomorrow's, well, we're not actually going to have a video tomorrow. It's Friday. But, after tomorrow's trading session, we are going to have the weekly update coming out Saturday morning. So stay tuned for that. If you are new to the channel, guys, be sure to stick around, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell button so you can get notified when we are, coming out with these videos so you can stay prepared in the market. All right. So again, daily RSI, I do think we're going higher here. Just know that. I do think we're going higher. Weekly chart still looking pretty insane over here. But what are we watching over here for support on SPY? And, same exact thing I was just pointing out. You have this thing just chilling up here. At some point, hourly RSI and 15-minute RSI, they're going to reset. These are the ones that I watch. Okay. They're going to reset at some point. We're going to get either sideways action, or we are going to get a pullback. The pullback is probably going to lead to a buying opportunity, and then we go up higher. All right. If you see that, probably go something like that. If you think we're going to get this close to the $600 psych level and then, just fall flat on our faces, I think you're going to be wrong on that one, and that's just my opinion. All right, so support over here on SPY. What are we going to be paying attention to, guys? We're going to watch this level right here at 595.56. Underneath there, you're going to have this little swing low right here at 593.92. Under there, 591.93, 589.43, and 586.12, which was that previous all-time high. You already kind of hit it with the break and retest. We know there's buyers down here. Come back here to 586.12. We're expecting buyers there. But again, that is just like QQ. That's going to be like almost a 2% down day. I don't think we're going to have that tomorrow. All right. That is literally going to be you taking out what you had today. And, a lot of, yeah, all right. It's taken out the last 2 days of, this impulsive price action. I think it's much more likely that we consolidate, get a little pullback that doesn't give everybody what they want, the previous all-time high break and retest, and then we continue higher from here. That's what I'm looking for over here on SPY. Resistance. We are watching the $600 psych level, and then you have 605 above there. IWM, what are we watching, guys? What are we watching? All right. You had this massive, almost 6% day yesterday, and now today you are just consolidating. You traded flat today. What are we watching as support? 236.31, 233.64, 229.84, and 226.64. Now, I do think this thing is going to continue further to the upside. I don't know if it's going to do so just yet, but if it pulls back, it is certainly going to act as a buying opportunity over here. Like, let's look at it this way. We know the odds are that if you pull back here, you get bought up. We're not just going to say, oh, you have no chance of, fading this level right here. You could do something like that. It's just not likely whatsoever, all right? You are much more likely to find buyers over here if you come back and retest it after having this massive impulsive move up. All right? I do think, excuse me, what new all-time high incoming over here in IWM. So resistance, we're watching 240.76. I guess we can mark out today's high over here. Get above 238.49. We're watching 240.76 and then 244.46. Around there, expect a pullback if tested. And, I'm just going to say it's kind of like this little breakout week right here. You had this little, this little range, all right? You had clear as day. You had sellers here. You broke above it that week, and then you continue higher the next 2 weeks. I think that possibly could be what we get over here. So that's IWM for you. DIA, how we looking? Yes, you saw that weekly candle. It's crazy looking. I know. Is this any reason to get bearish? No. No, it is not. All right. This is what I'm saying. You're going to find a lot of top callers out here on these streets. It is not worth it, guys. It is not worth listening to the people who are just going to sit here calling for tops. All right. It can happen. All right. It can. But if you're going to look at these charts and say, oh, it's a reason to start selling it, it makes no sense to me. All right. Maybe you get a pullback, but it is much more likely that that pullback would lead to higher prices after the fact. All right. On the downside, what are we going to be paying attention to? Today's low underneath 436.43. We're going to be watching for a retest of 433.20, which was the previous all-time high. Under there, you have 431.42. If you pull back into the zone, I imagine you're probably going to get buyers defending there. All right. So, if you do lose 431.42, straight drop down to 426.20, I don't think that's going to be the case. All right. So, this is my base case over here for DIA. All right. And that's where we're paying attention to. Or you're just going to continue on a little higher, consolidate, and then maybe go a little higher after that. All right. There you go. And I'm not telling anybody to just straight up chase these higher prices, but I'm going to point to these individual tickers over here that we cover, the 20 most actively traded stocks on the New York Stock Exchange, guys. Everything's looking pretty crazy, okay? Now let's look at VIX already. I gave a little sneak peek earlier. Guess what? You're coming down into our major demand zone over here. This is our heavily traded zone that since inception, we have gotten a reaction every single time over here, just like this zone up here, okay? Anytime you get into the zone, you get a little reaction going on here. And what happens down here, guys? Reaction, all right? Break and retest, reaction. Pulled back into it, found buyers. I know you can't find actual buyers over here on VIX, but TA still applies. All right, reaction. Oh, you lost and came back to retest it. Reaction. What happened over here? You hit it with a break and retest. Reaction, 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 reaction. What do we think is going to happen here if we test right now? We're probably going to get another freaking reaction. What do you also have in the hourly RSI? A flipping bullish divergence. We're probably going to find VIX getting a bid down here, and it could go something like that. I have a bearish bias going tomorrow strictly because of the things I'm showing you here on these hourly and 15-minute time frames, or these hourly and 15-minute charts, I should say. I think we are going to get VIX spiking from here, and I think the indices can pull back a bit. I think that leads to higher prices after the fact than the indices. But, I would love a pullback. I'm sure everybody would love a pullback unless the people are just, holding on. Just your little reminder here from your boy Henry. Guys, if you were buying that dip, okay, if you knew like we did here on this channel that dip was likely to be bought up and you were using the December and January expiration, I know they're far out, but you are still probably up 100 to 200% depending on what tickers you're playing over there. We had the Trump trade Tesla over here. You're now hitting the $300 target. I don't see a reason to not take profits. If you have not taken profits, no financial advice will be given here on this channel. But guys, it is no reason to be sitting here holding and hoping for this thing to just continue skyrocketing. The daily RSI is getting into overbought territory. And yes, there's a chance you start a massive bull run. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, all right? This weekly chart, the monthly chart, it's looking absolutely freaking ridiculous. We knew about it. We knew this dip was going to be a buying opportunity. If Trump is elected, what happened? The thing freaking exploded when Trump got elected, okay? Now, break above 313.61 up here. That's when things get really crazy. And, we can start a move up there. I think this move is going to continue. But again, just your friendly guy, Henry, over here, just reminding you, if you have not taken profits, I know for a fact, if you were in those December calls, I know for a fact yesterday you were up 200%. Don't be a greedy little pig, all right? Take your trims. There you go. Hold some runners. Have a blast. But if this thing pulls back, do not lose your freaking mind because you didn't take profits over here. If it pulls back into 271, clear as day buying opportunity for that move I just spoke of, which goes higher. All right, guys, now let's go over these big boys. Apple over here coming into 227.76 resistance above here. What are we going to be paying attention, guys? We really don't have much. You kind of had this little range you developed over here. I'm gonna just literally mark this out right here. Okay, so we're talking 229.55 above 227.76, and above there, the next spot really is going to be 234.73. I'm going to say there's much better charts to be, paying attention to over here than Mr. Apple over here. Amazon, you did break that 200 call wall. We knew this was likely, it was either to get bought up right here or it was going to get bought up right here with all likelihood. What happened? You got bought up off the 195.37 break and retest. You skyrocketed up to a new all-time high. And now you have a weekly candle like this. I am not saying you're going to keep going up. I think we probably consolidate for a few weeks after having this massive move up here. But I do think higher prices are coming over here for Amazon stock. That is that. Support if you pull back 201.20, just like we had the break and retest. We broke out from over here, break and retest off of 195.37. Now the break and retest level is going to be 201.20. So that's what we're going to be paying attention to. I probably don't need the alert because I'm definitely going to be paying attention to if we have a market-wide pullback anyway. But that is what we're watching over there on Amazon. If you're just going to look on the hourly time frame over here, you could very clearly see this is kind of where you had the buyers, consolidating, and then they broke you out. All right. So if you come back, we're just going to say break under today, right over here, break under 209.21. This level that was put in today on this little, swing down here. If you come up, take out this high, we're going to mark out this high right here. Okay. Let's just look at it this way. Take out the high, and then maybe you sweep that. All right. Or maybe it's just a slight, something like that. And then you come back down, take out 212.25, and at that point, we're going to watch 209.21. And then if you do that, that is the move that, you can probably become a short-term trader right there and play some weeklies on. And, I'm going to say under 209.21, we're probably going to revisit 206.08 down there. That's what I'm going to be paying attention to over there on the hourly time frame. But, in reality, you have just shot straight up. Again, I'm going to remind everyone, if you played this thing, okay, maybe you're buying here, you're taking half position here, you're waiting down here to take the rest of it. Well, guess what? You're up big. Don't be a greedy pig. Yeah, it's up at 210. You're buying down at 195. You just caught a ripperoonie. Congratulations.
That was easy.
Pat yourself on the back, all right, and put that money in your pocket. Goog over here, what do we got, guys? And this is like, these are the charts that make me think, guys, the top is not in. I know you're going to see some top colors, but we have charts right here that are looking crazy bullish, and depending what happens tomorrow, they can look even more bullish. What if Goog closes above 183.79 tomorrow? What happens if that happens? We go into a new all-time high probably next week. This thing looks crazy bullish. Or, maybe not next week. Maybe we just pull back a little bit, and then that gets bought up. Regardless, you engulfed this whole bearish wick, this whole upper wick from last week. You have now taken that out pretty much. You are right back up to the highs. Above 183.79, we're paying attention to 193.31. Support is going to be 178.42. Microsoft, how are we looking? This is another thing that, it didn't get as deep of a pullback as I was looking for. I was looking to buy it off of 480. What happened, guys? You actually held the 0.618 fib and you skyrocketed. All right. Well, you didn't skyrocket. I'd say Google and Amazon kind of did more of that over there. But, like I said, on the last chart, Goog chart, you had, last week's candlestick wasn't the best look. What happened this week? You're going for it. All right. So now you are here at 426.10 resistance. Above here, guys, what are we going to have? We're going to be watching 431.08. And then above there, we're watching 440.23. It's solid shot. We're going to be pushing up here, guys. And, these charts, they don't suggest immediate downside to me, guys. And that's why I think if you see all these top callers, I think they're going to be wrong. And I will remind you of that. I will walk you guys through this. There will be a time to, hey, we're gonna see that pullback. I will let y'all know when that time is, and I don't think it's just yet. If you see a little pullback, it is probably just going to be a buying opportunity. Meta looks like it's still going to take out that current all-time high at 602.95. It missed it last week. Again, this is what I'm saying. You had these bearish candlesticks last week. Well, what happens when you print a very bullish weekly candlestick the following week? We probably go higher the next week. So that's why I say, depending how tomorrow closes out here, I think we're going higher next week, guys. Top callers, they can shove it. And, I'm not dissing anyone right now, but I can guarantee you're going to get top callers out there. And I'm going to walk you guys through this. All right. And it's not yet. All right. So that's Meta over here. I know we got a lot of lines of support over there. It was resistance. You kind of just, kind of did your thing over here. All right. But, at this point, guys, I think the only level you really got to pay attention is 602.95. And I do think we're going to hit 610 and then the 620 cycle level. I do think, I think Meta is, it's about to have another leg up here. You have a whole lot of consolidation here, and it's about to resolve itself to the upside. It's just like this over here. Well, what happened when you broke out to new high? You went $60 higher. What happens if you finally come up to 650? That's what I was personally looking for on this push over here. I'm not saying it's going to happen right away, but there's a solid shot that when you break above 602.95, we're going to see this consolidation resolve itself and get another, we're going to say $30 to $50 move over here to the upside on Meta. There you go. All right, let's talk about some chip action. What's going on, guys? SMH is looking mighty fine. Chips are looking mighty fine over here. Specifically, guys, we had ARM popping up here. Today it was looking freaking insane. I think you had around a 10% move on the day. Yeah, 9% over there. Let's come back over to SMH, though. This is the chip index over here. Guys, things are looking mighty fine, and I know you're just in the golden pocket. It looks like you're about to take it out, though, so we're not even going to focus on it. Okay, we're not even going to focus on, but just know if you take out 265.40, 265.50, get above there, test this 270.54 gap. We're probably going to be coming up to above 283.07. Chips are going to be having another leg up over here. Same situation as Meta over here. You got all this consolidation about to resolve itself. All right, resistance 262.26. Support is going to be 255.73. Break above 262.26. You really don't have anything. You got this like gap sitting over here. All right. You don't have price action between there. Probably going to get a quick move up to 270.54 gap and fill that bad boy. NVDA, guys, you popped up. We knew this was going to be a buying opportunity. I was really hoping you got a little, came a little further down. You didn't. All right, you didn't, and then you were off to the races. Every one of the mother was watching this 131.26 level right there for the break and retest for the second time. You already had buyers stepping in. We knew buyers were probably going to either defend here or right down here at 127.67. What happened? You popped right up to a new high, and now you have a weekly chart that looks like this. Guys, we're going higher. We're going higher. All right, call me a perma bull you want. That's fine. All right, I think we're going higher. And, I don't think this is it. Daily RSI still is not even in overbought territory. I think these are things that are probably going to happen. You're going to have top callers, and then you're going to get a blow-off kind of moment when it just keeps going straight up and people are in misbelief. Guys, nobody is in disbelief right now. People are just like, oh, it's going straight up. It has to pull back. Nobody's in disbelief when the jaw dropping. All right. And they're like, what's going on? That's not happening right now. That's probably going to happen. All right. We've had a crap ton of consolidation on all of these charts. You're resolving that right now. We're having legs up. Let's get it. TSM, guys, you broke out of that bull flag, that little descending channel after coming back and retesting that 193.47 break and retest level. Your boy was a little paper-handed baby over here, and I did end up selling yesterday. What happened today? You popped right back up. I do think TSM over here is going to pop up to a new all-time high above 212.60, all right? So, above 198.17, I mentioned yesterday's video there. Guys, I think we're going to have, a ripperoonie back to the upside over here. I think you're going to take out 201.97. Next level of resistance is going to be 205.95. Above there, you have we're actually going to take that out. We're going to put this right here, all right? Above 205.20, you don't really have anything here. So that is a move that could happen pretty quick here. That is TSM. I'm really liking it. Avgo, what are we also liking? Avgo, same thing as that meta chart over there. You have this consolidation. You are now getting that resolution to the consolidation. I'm liking this thing on the weekly chart. Same look as QQQ. We have the ugly double bottom. We knew we were paying attention to it, and we knew buyers had to defend right over here. I know things look pretty bleak over here, but buyers end up coming in, saving the day right where they had to, and now you look like you're going to pop up to new all-time high. We know we haven't had the measure move from this over here yet. We are going to be going higher over here on an Avgo. That is 37 schmeckles. Get above here, all right? And we can look for that move to actually take place. 210 is probably incoming over here on Avgo. Can it take time? Yes, it can take time, but I think it is coming. All right, 200 and then 210 over here on Avgo. Of course, we're going to talk about all of these things in the weekly update tomorrow. Not tomorrow, Saturday. AMD, guys, it did end up popping up to that 148.01 level. That's what I was looking for. If you took out 144.54, you're probably going to be popping up there, guys. And now it's not looking so bad, all right? You did get above the daily 9 over here. I think you have a shot at coming up here to 154.92 next. We're going to clean up this chart right now, so we just have, clear as day things to be paying attention to over here. Let's talk about it, okay? Right here, right here, right here, right here. All right, resistance 150.52, 154.92, 160.44, and 167.51. I'm not saying you're going to have a straight up shot. Those are just the levels you're paying attention to. If you are a trader and you want to trade level to level, those are the levels that I have on my chart. Okay, support is 143.64 and 139.72. Take out that 139.72, you probably come down to 133.74. ARM, like I said, all right, big bullish engulfing candlestick yesterday. I do have to assume you're going to be getting some continuation tomorrow. Let's again just clean the crap out of this chart right now because this is pissing me off. It's probably pissing you off. So let's get all of this clutter out of there and let's talk about it. All right, you ended up sweeping the low over here, and now it looks like you're probably going to take out this high. What can we also draw right here? You got this little downtrend. What do you do right here? You create a parallel line. Oh, what do we have? A little bull flag slash, parallel channel action that looks like it's about to break off out of, heavy volume here. I'm like an ARM. I think you're about to shoot up to 173.23. That's my call. Okay. Take out 157.69. I think you're going to be starting to move up to 173.23. And from that point, I think you started your move up to 188.75. I'm liking this thing. I'm liking it a lot. I think it's going much higher. All right. There we go. I was saying ARM wasn't the thing, making a lot of sense. It was kind of, just dancing around over here. There are a lot better charts. Well, what am I going to say now, guys? We have a clear as day bull flag over here. I think we are about to see a breakout. Let's pay attention to it. MU, what do you got over here, guys? You did break above 111, guys. You did do it. You finally got the move that we were looking for over here. You pulled back. You got the little double bottom action over here, and I do think you're finally about to get that move that we've been talking about over here. You got this double bottom we pointed out, the neckline at 111 exactly, and then you have this double bottom right here, and the neckline's kind of somewhere over here, right? It's technically going to be this high right here, all right? 114.14. Break above 114.14. You're watching 116.34, 121.01, and then 127.27. Above 114.14, I think a move up to 127 starts. There you go. All right. And, if you really want to make this guy pretty, there we go. All right. Oh, booyah. And he's got his fist. He's ready to freaking go. He's got a smile on his face, too. He's a little psychopath. All right. He'll knock you out, but he's got a smile while he's doing it. All right. Let's just get him off my chart, though. There you go, little buddy. All right, so that's that. We're talking some Bitcoin. What do we got going on, guys? Fresh breakout. I do think these miners are, probably going to, be moving here up with Bitcoin here. They did get their first, start of the move yesterday. I do think we're going to get some continuation here over the coming, 1 to 2 weeks here. I think Bitcoin is probably going to shoot up to the next cycle of 80K in the short term. Maybe it happens this weekend. Maybe it doesn't. All right. Pullback is going to be a buying opportunity into 72,756 to 73,794. That demand zone, that little breakout zone, we're going to treat that as demand. We probably have buy orders that are going to defend there. All right. We're talking coin. What's happening, guys? You're looking like you want to keep shooting up here. All right. You did kind of have this little inside day. You're kind of flagging up here at the top. We're not really sure how this is going to end up playing out, but, you kind of have this little ascending, triangle kind of look to you. Regardless, guys, if Bitcoin is at a new all-time high, what are they going to be buying this stuff on? It's going to be on Coinbase over there. We're probably going to see this thing shoot up to 283.48. If you see a pullback to 220.26, buying opportunity. I don't think it happens, though. CLSK, what do we got over here, guys? We did get the daily close today over $12.99. I do think a move up to 15 is on the way. They are currently halted in the after hours due to they need more info. They need to give more info to the NASDAQ. We're going to see how that goes. But, from a technical standpoint, this thing looks like it is finally starting that move. Close out with this bullish engulfing candlestick this week. You're going to see 15 probably early next week. Mara, what do you got over here, guys? Same look as coin. You're just consolidating here up at the high of yesterday's candlestick. The important part is that you broke above here, okay? You finally got, clear as day. You're finding buyers above 1884. You couldn't hold it here, couldn't hold it here, not here, not here, not here, but you have it here, all right? So let's hope, let's just hope here you have buyers that take you above yesterday's high here, and from that point, you're probably going to have a push up to 2083, okay? So that could be resistance right there at 1991 that you're paying attention to. We did stall it there last time. We're going to take that out, though, and just say, take out this high, 1960, yesterday's high. We're probably going to start a move up to 2083, and then 21, $22-ish over there. MSTR popped up to new high today, guys. Dips are buying opportunities. I'm not even going to talk about this chart much. We're going to jump over to, my ideas and my updates over here on these ideas, all right? Diz, what do we got going on, guys? We did break out. We got this little breakout here. What happened after we finally broke out of that bull flag? You popped right up off a gap up above 97.57. I do think 127 isn't coming. You have earnings right here around the corner. They are next week. All right. So next Thursday, that is going to be bringing some volatility. I have, a bullish bias over here going into that. I think Disney is finally getting some love over here. All right. What are we going to be watching next, guys? We're paying attention over here to you. All right, I'm not really sure how this is going to go, but I will point out you got a little bull flag action right here, and you're trying to pop your head above you. You're trying to get that breakout. It doesn't look like you're going to get it right now. You probably pull back over here. If I had to guess over here, you're going to pull back to 21.32, find buyers there, and then you break out of that. Get over 22.85. I think you start a move back up here to 25.03. All right, so that is that. Upstart, what do we got? We did get the breakout yesterday, and now you're getting that continuation. And what is happening in the after hours, guys? You had earnings today. You're now up at 64.50, all right? So congrats if you did end up playing this. I'm not really sure how, contracts moves. I didn't really check them out besides the other day, and they're just juiced to the gills. But you know, if you were buying this down here at the bottom of the flag when we were pointing it out into this trend line, you're having a good time. All right. So congratulations. You're going to have an even better time tomorrow morning when this thing opens up there. And I do think 72.58 is incoming. All right. What do we got next, guys? We're talking MBLY. All right. So this is one that I'm just going to say, if you were in this thing and you were buying it down here with us, you should be taking the profits. All right. You should be taking the profits. You got this candlestick. I'm just going to say this thing has been a troll. If you manage to come out alive on this thing and you manage to get over 100% gains because you bought down here, guess what? Or you bought on the breakout, whatever you did, take them profits. I'll be your reminder. LLY, what are we talking over here, guys? You now have the daily RSI hitting a spot where you haven't hit in 8 years. And last time you did hit this, you had this action right here. You had an almost immediate move up over the following 4 trading sessions of like, 10 to 11%. Yes, you did end up seeing that fade. All right. You saw a big fat gap down and that put in a bullish divergence. And that was your major low before you ran up to take out that high. I do think we're probably going to get a similar, scenario over here. You do have a lot of gaps in these charts. Okay. All across the board. But you came down to this gap over here at 786.58. It's kind of picture perfect where you've seen buyers step in twice in a row here. If you do come down here to 747.55, between 718.30 and 747.55, that is my buy zone. That is what I'm looking for. A little caution there. Premiums are so freaking expensive. It's ridiculous over here. But you see a move from right here up to, 820. Now you're looking at around 100% gain. Now you already started getting that move today, $20. So, when I was looking at premiums, you were kind of, all the way down here. So, but I do think it's probably going to start bouncing back from here. Above 820.73, you got 858.81. RH, this is another one we're going to be, looking at. I'm not going to be playing it, but I will put it on your radar over here. LLY, I do want to play that guy if I get what I want over there. But, definitely just no, those premiums are so freaking expensive. You want to buy December contracts, it's freaking expensive. January, sweet baby Jesus, 850 is like it was $2,000 per con. I was like, oh, geez, that's what I would want, and it's so expensive per con. That is crazy. I don't really want that. All right, but the move itself will be, pretty similar there. You see a $50 move, you see a 130% gain on the December cons. You're going to see around 100% gain on the January cons. All right, but RH over here, it's also an expensive guy. I like this weekly chart. All right, I'm just saying this is a sexy break and retest. You're clearly finding buyers over here. I think you're probably going to pop up to 367 over the coming weeks and then up to 406.38. So I'll put it on your radar. Oklo, guys. What is that arrow you see, huh? What is that arrow you see? We're saying from over here, after this day right here, that you're either going to come down off the 1880 or 1677, and there you're probably going to be getting buyers for one last leg up. You're getting that leg up right now, ladies and gents. Look for a new high tomorrow. I think 30 is incoming. That's Oklo. All right. Last thing I'm going to put on our radar, guys. We're going to be watching this one. This is on the monthly time frame. I'm going to be paying attention to this, and we will be, looking for a daily setup over here. I don't think it comes just yet. But, very clear as day on the monthly time frame, we have this falling wedge pattern right here, and you're about to break. All right. So we could have a few months over here to be playing AAPL momentum to the upside. We're just going to have to, scope out the smaller time frame, which is in this case the daily time frame, for those setups to present themselves. We have the larger scale monthly setup there. We got to wait to see the, one over here. Actually, before I go, PDD did get a breakout literally today. All right. Above this high over here. I do think this is probably, you very clearly could see it's basing over here. And, now it's starting to pop up to new highs. I think this, China could be catching a bit over here. All right, so something to pay attention to. All right, if you played China this time around, I think if you were waiting patiently, I don't think you're going to get this down here. I think you're probably going to start seeing this pop back up. All right, specifically Bob over here looks like it could test that 106.92 gap right there, and that's what I'm watching for. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did enjoy the video, please remember to leave a like. I would appreciate it. It does help us get it out to more people, and then we can grow our little corner of YouTube over here and get some more people in our community. All right. I love you guys. I appreciate y'all. And with that being said, I'll catch y'all in the next one, which will be Saturday morning, weekly update. Peace.